Hey guys, Amy here with Leap of Faith Crafting. Thanks so much for stopping by. So today, I'm so excited. We are almost into fall here. Granted, it's still going to be above 105 this week, but we are getting there. So I am starting to work on fall decor because it is my favorite season. So today I'm going to be using my WeCreat Vision laser machine and showing you how to make a cute reversible sign. So I have this side for the fall, and then other side for Christmas. So we can do kind of a 2-in-1 here. And this was just an old round I found when I was actually going through my stash of wood. So it's not the best piece of wood. It has some cuts and stuff on it, but it is still very usable and it came out super cute. So we're just gonna go through the steps of adding the files into the WeCreat software and cutting things out and painting them and then just putting it together. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more tutorials, and let's start crafting. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my plywood right in my WeCreat Vision on my slats down there and shut the lid, and the lid is where the camera is right there, and that's what will show a picture for me. Okay, so now back in the creator space, I'm going to go ahead and hit refresh up here. So then that camera will now come up. Okay, and I have already uploaded the file I'm going to use to my Canvas one, and I will link this below. So it's this cute image I got over on Creative Fabrica, where I have the yearly subscription. I talk about it all the time because I love it and it's so worth the money. And it's only a few dollars a month. So when you bring this in, you just want to make sure that I'm actually not going to cut the round because I already have a round. I'm just using that to size. And my round is about 12 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this and just make this 12 just so I can size everything better. So I'm going to probably want everything a bit bigger. So I'm just going to go ahead and so I think that's a good size. So now what I'm going to go ahead and just click off of that, and then everything, all of this, I want to make sure it's a cut because I'm going to be cutting all of this. So you can see when I click on it over here, it says the cut. And my material is 3mm basswood for everything. So all of these right here are all set to cut, which is good. And then I want to move these out of the way because I don't want it to cut right on top of my wood. So this is all set to cut. And then all these blue parts in here are actually, let's set to line engrave, because I just want them to engrave a line so I know where to paint. So it's gonna just put a line there so I know exactly where I'm gonna paint in things. Okay, and then the red part, you can see down here that the red is what's selected. Oh, the red one I actually want it to cut. Oh, I probably need to ungroup this. So I'm gonna go ahead and ungroup this so I don't change things at the same time. And you can see if I move that off right there, that is the line engrave which I want. This I'm going to change to the cut. So that is cut there. Okay, and then I want to move this back on here so it engraves and cuts. So I'm just going to go ahead and group these together, clicking that group up there. And then I'm just going to move things, actually, oh, let me refresh this one because I refreshed the other canvas here. Okay, so that shows me where my wood is in there. So I'm going to go ahead and, so I have this, one of the pattern plywoods, and it's such a cool color. I'm trying to decide if I want to cut the leaves out of this or cut the words out of it. I'm thinking maybe we'll do the words. So I'm going to go ahead and ignore these So if I don't want to cut them out right now, you can hit this ignore for processing and it won't cut these out. So I'll cut these out second. So I'm gonna go ahead and ignore that one too. And then I'm gonna kind of move these around so I don't waste, move these around a little bit to save some wood here. Okay, and these ones are going to be ignored there. Okay, so I have everything set, have that. So now what I'm gonna do is actually autofocus it, and my machine will go up and down here. Okay, so then I'm gonna hit that start button. So estimated time is 6 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and send this to my machine. Okay, so now over at my machine, I am going to click that button and it's going to cut everything out. Okay, so it paused. We're gonna go ahead and open it. And you can see this just comes right out with everything already cut. And I apologize, my dog and my foster dog are having some playtime right now. So this is just that light engrave, the line engrave, so I know where to paint on that gnome there. So just look how cool that cut out. Okay, so next I'm actually gonna put in this pattern one to write the Hello Fall on. So I'm just gonna stick this in here. Go ahead and close the lid. And back over here, I'm gonna go ahead and refresh it so we can see that, but then all of this stuff I want it to ignore now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and drag my cursor over all of that and hit ignore for processing. And I'm just gonna move it out of the way for now. Okay, so the hello and the fall, we are gonna now change these ones. Unclick that, and you can see it turns dark now. Before it was light, so now we know that that is going to process, and they are on the cuts. And let's see kind of what. Maybe I want it over there. Oops, don't want to. Okay, so I'm going to put that over there to cut. I'm going to go ahead and hit that autofocus again. Okay, and once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and click start. Okay, I'm going to hit send on this one. I'm going to go ahead and push that button and get this one started. Look how beautifully that cuts out. Such a fun color, right? Okay. So now I'm just going to start painting my other pieces. Okay, so for my other side, I already put the wood in. You can see it already has something cut out of it, but we're going to use that. I'm going to go ahead and click import over here. We are going to open this Christmas truck. I'm going to bring in the SVG. Okay. And we have this. So again, I'm going to bring in a circle. I'm going to lock it and make it about 11.75. Bring that over here just so I can size this. And that's actually pretty good. I might bring it down just a little bit. Okay, and once I have it sized, I'm going to go ahead and delete that off. And then I'm going to turn all of this into a cut. So that turns it all red. And go ahead and just put it down here on my wood. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and click that autofocus button. My machine will go up and down and do its thing. Okay, and when it's all ready, we're going to go ahead and click that start button. We're going to send it, and then we're going to push our button and let it start cutting out. Okay, so while that side is cutting out, I am just kind of placing things on here. So now that I have it set, I'm going to kind of figure out how I want to paint things. So then I'm just going to paint everything. So we're going to speed up the video quite a bit. And you can use anything that you like to paint it. I'm using a combination of some acrylic paints that I have and also paint pens and paint markers, just depending on how big of an area I'm doing. And then after I put some paint on the hat, I actually sprinkled a little bit of just extra fine glitter on it just to give it a little bit of sparkle. And I also did that after I painted my leaves. Okay, so I've painted all of these top ones and I'm debating on the back because I want it to stand out and I can't do white because of the beard. So I have this barn wood wax that is a dark gray. And this is just something I have on hand, so I'm just going to squirt it on the board and then just use a cloth to rub it in and wipe it off. Just going to let it set a little bit before I glue on that. And then while that is setting, we're going to start painting. So now I'm just trying to kind of center where I want everything. So I've decided on this side I'm actually going to do a green stripe down here. And I have this up because this has, like I said, it's an old piece of wood and I'm trying to cover that up. So I'm going to kind of put that over there. So I'm just going to make lines of where I want to put my green tape. Okay, we're going to move this off. This will work. So I'm going to put it on top. And I'm also using my mat in the background there. to line it up. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little line on the bottom. I'm going to paint this green. Okay, so then I'm going to take the tape off. And we're going to hope this doesn't, yeah. And I did not let my stain dry. So since I didn't let my stain dry long enough and it pulled up, I am just using a small paintbrush here and adding some more of that stain onto it. I love the stain. It's a gel type stain, so it's kind of like a paint. So it just kind of blends itself back into it. And then I'm adding a little bit more green on there. I want a white line, so I'm going to add tape back on top of the green, and then just a few millimeters below that. And then I'm going to use a paint pen to paint the white inside here, and the white tends to not be very vibrant, so I'm painting it twice and then taking the tape off. And then I'm just going to kind of set things where I want it. And then I'm just making sure everything is kind of centered right in that thing. And then for the glue, I use wood glue and then just a paintbrush to brush it all over the back. And this wood glue dries clear, but I still try to get out any kind of bleed throughs that I see. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on the back of all the wording and place it down and keep going until everything is glued on. So we have one side there, and these little pieces, definitely not the easiest. And then I'm going to flip it over and place it on a towel so I don't smudge the back side. And I'm going to place all of my fall things on the front where I want them. And then I'm going to do the same thing and apply wood glue with my paintbrush and glue everything on this side. Okay, so there you have it. An all new cute round sign that you can either hang on your front door, you can hang anywhere inside. You don't even have to put a ribbon in it. You can just put it on a stand if you want. Obviously, it doesn't need to be round. You can do square, but it's just fun using the laser machine and cutting the different woods out and being able to paint it exactly how you want it. And then we are just going to be flipping it around. I'm sure I'll put a bow or something up here when it comes to Christmas time, something that I can remove so I can have a little bit more color right up in there. But I love how it came out, and it is going out on my front door. Thanks so much for stopping by, and happy crafting.